Scorpio, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for late April, moving into early May 2026. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know, I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business, as always, and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we can dip our toes in the energy and see what's happening for the lovely Scorpio collective. I hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here. My guide, spirit team, talk to me. What do you got for us? What do you have for Scorpio gang in late April, early May? What energy, messages, insights can we take a little peek at? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card. Then we'll get into the full reading itself. At the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean into, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Scorpio gang. Late April, early May, it's Taurus season. What's the vibe? What's the energy? Let's get this card out quick. There it goes. I feel like I saw this one for one of the Earth signs this week, and which is odd because I haven't seen this card in quite a while, and it seems very simple, and it doesn't seem like anything's jumping out at us. It's very unassuming, but there's a lot going on underneath the surface. There's a lot of layers to this onion, so to speak, which again translates into the overall vibe. Now, before we fully dive into that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the April subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. And also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, back into the reading. Let's talk more in depth about this. So yeah, first look at this image here. Just looks like a lady looking in a mirror, right? Like maybe she's putting on her makeup or something. But when you look a little deeper, it's actually her holding a mask, right? So it's like she's guarding something. And then there's multiple reflections, which to me indicate different perspectives or different layers. Not only that, there's a lot of items on this desk, including these Russian babushka layer dolls, right? The nesting dolls, where it's like one after another after another. So to me, this does indicate complexity. Now, for some Scorpios, there might be certain situations you're dealing with that seem pretty cut and dry, right? Where it is what it is. But there might be more layers than first glance, right? And if anyone's good at honing in to that type of stuff, it would be Scorpio. Scorpio loves to dig into the deeper aspects of things. So watch out for situations that might be a little more complex or complicated than someone from the outside might assume. Now, aside from that, this card to me could represent just having a lot on the mind, right? Where it's like I'm thinking in layers, where I'm thinking about this, I'm thinking about that, my attention's here, my attention's there. So just watch out for the mental overwhelm when this card shows up. But yeah, there is something here about complexity. So whether you're dealing with something or something pops up, it's like, no, there's more to this story, Scorpio. So we're going to let her chill right there. Let's get into tarot. And yeah, I always say that first card, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get your 3 tarot cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. Shuffle it up one time here for Scorpio gang. What do we got? And while we get this deck shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. It was titled Surprising Action Incoming. So whether it was action that you took or action someone else takes, I mean, this energy could bleed over for a couple weeks, so just keep an eye out. There could be a lot of things popping up, a lot of things happening that might catch you off guard. Now, that doesn't mean it's a bad thing. It just seems to come out of the blue, which, again, for a Scorpio, that's kind of a feat, right? Because usually Scorpios have a very good intuition when something's about to go down. So we're going to see what shows up this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or somebody else, right? Let's get it going. 3 cards here for Scorpio gang. What do we got going on in late April, early May for Scorpio gang? Cool. Yeah, a little push-pull. There's a little push-pull happening here, my friends. So position number 1, we do have the 7 of Wands, which, again, that's good. Something that I do see commonly for Scorpio readings and Scorpio personal readings. It's a card that we all get. And then right next to it, we got Temperance. Total opposite energies. They present in totally different ways. All right, let's get one more. So maybe that's part of the thing about the layers that we've been picking up. 6 of Wands. Cool. I got this card in the Pisces reading. So it's all fire, Scorpio. That's one thing I most definitely would like to note with all this energy, and we're going to dig into it deeper. But let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes, then we'll get into that juicy intuitive stuff. But at first glance, you know me, I always love to dive into the elements. I feel like it frames the reading and tells us how the energy could be flowing. And yeah, all fire, right? So I don't have to go through and break down a whole bunch of different elements. Now, my only caution here is the fact that when there's too much of one element, the reading could get a little lopsided and it could get a little heavy. So that's something we need to pay attention to as we move through. Like, is it all fire? But I regularly say as well, if there's any water sign that could deal with a lot of fire energy, it would be Scorpio, right? Especially with the Mars connections. But you see it with the Seven of Wands, we got Temperance, we got the Six of Wands. Not necessarily a bad thing, but intense. And when it comes to fire element, it's the element of action. So it's funny, last week we had surprising action incoming, and now we're still going fire, 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 fire. Now, whether it's actions you take, actions other people take, actions that you want to take, this to me also represent energy levels. So if you've been feeling down, hey, this might be a burst of energy. You might start feeling up. This could be very intense, or it could feel very low. I guess it depends on whatever situation you're dealing with. It could be health and wellness overall. I mean, we don't have to hyperfixate on that. But the biggest thing with fire, and that's the caution with it, is that it has a certain level of volatility, a certain level of unpredictability, where it looks like it's going one way and then it splits off and goes this way. Like, you got to always try to keep fire under control. So this is burning red hot. So let's go through and start building this out piece by piece. Position number one, we start with a card that does have a little push, a little oomph to it. We got the Seven of Wands here. And we see this individual, it looks like they're standing up on a hill or a wall, fending off all these people. Like, hey, get away from me. Right? Like, now, the good thing, and you know me, I'm optimistic. I'll start with the positives. This is a card of determination, where it's like, can't stop, won't stop. When I decide on something, I will see it through. I will run through brick walls if I have to. When my mind is set, it is what it is, right? So that's the one thing I love about this and the determination behind it. The downside to the Seven of Wands, it can be combative, it can be pushy. This can represent anger and aggression. Sometimes it can represent feeling cornered or trapped. And I always give this warning, especially to cross watchers. That's like the worst place you want to make a Scorpio feel is trapped, because that's when the stinger comes out, right? Because this card can feel cornered and it can feel cabin fevery. So it's something to watch out for. Again, this could be great. This could just be forward push and determination to get a certain result. I love that. But at the same time, there is this push, there is this aggression that I'm getting here. Now, the fact that it's in the first spot, that could be a good thing. You know, if it was in the end, then I would be a little more concerned. But moving to the center, we have a totally different vibe where it like completely switches. It's like a complete vibe shift. In the center, we have Temperance, Archangel Michael, beautiful for spiritual protection. So for a lot of Scorpios, regardless of what your beliefs are, this could be guides, spirit teams, angels. Michael is the defender. So I think that this is first and foremost very beautiful to have this spiritual insulation around you. But Michael and this card represents Sagittarius, which is fire. So although it looks like he's not doing much, there's a lot going on underneath the surface, right? What's he doing? He's pouring water from cup to cup. He's doing some sort of spiritual alchemy. So it's like, don't let perceptions fool you, or don't let the surface fool you, because there could be something that looks like nothing or looks like nothing's happening, but underneath the surface there's a lot of hints and clues that something's building up steam. Now, Temperance could be all about patience, taking your time, taking your foot off the gas. It's like a calm, unforced type of energy. So it is the opposite of the Seven of Wands, where this one's like pushy, pushy, fight, 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 force, force, force. Temperance is like, I'm not fighting nothing. It is what it is. Like, I'm just gonna let this go how it needs to go. So again, I'm not mad at it. The only downside to Temperance is that sometimes it could feel stuck. So again, when we have the Seven of Wands pushing up against Temperance, there's like this force, there's this pressure that I'm starting to pick up. Or it could just be a change. We'll see when we clarify. Now, moving to the back end, we have a very good positive result. We have the Six of Wands. Beautiful stuff. This is a card of complete and total victory. I saw it in the Pisces reading as well this week. So when I see it, it's always a great sign. It's always claimable. As far as zodiac signs, this does link to the Leo collective. It could also represent gaining recognition for the things that you've done. It could represent appreciation, kudos for a job well done, or just people appreciating you. That's the one thing I really like about this card. It is also an attention grabber. I don't want to say it's an attention seeker, but this is one of the cards of attention and limelight. So sometimes this card will show up when maybe you got eyes on you, or maybe there's certain things you're paying attention to or need to. This will show up when you're getting or receiving attention. So if you do any work that could benefit from that, that would be a good thing. But again, victory. So This is going to be a layered one, just like we saw with the Oracle card. I want to dive deeper on all of it, Scorpio. Let's do it. Let's jump in and clarify. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here. And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on that Seven of Wands. Oh, and yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Scorpio, you could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. All right, let's see what's up with that Seven of Wands. And, you know, I didn't mention the drawback of the Six of Wands aside from the attention. While we get the card out for the Seven of Wands, this Six of Wands can also represent that thin line between confidence and ego. So, like, if there's anyone you're dealing with that has, like, some egotistical tendencies, that might be something to watch out for, especially with this here. Okay, so underneath the Seven of Wands, we have Judgment in reverse. Okay, so there is something, a process where Spirit probably doesn't want you to force it or fight it too much. And I got a very similar thing in the other water signs this week where it's like, just allow it. Just allow it. Just let it flow. You're going to get a better result there. So I think that's good. Now, judgment can sometimes be decisions, judgment calls, being at a crossroads. Not saying that you're all there, but when I see the Seven of Wands with Judgment in reverse, it's like, hey, don't fight it. Don't fight it. Just let it do what it's going to do. Let it unfold how it needs to unfold. There's something here about allowing something. Now, aside from that, Judgment in reverse can absolutely represent something popping back up as well. So a return of something. So whether it's a thought process, whether it's a behavior, whether it's a person, whether it's a situation, whether it's a cycle that you've seen a similar thing before. When I see this, it's like something comes back in with a vengeance, right? Like an explosive return of some kind. So those are the main vibes I'm picking up here in the front. So again, we got the explosive return type of energy, but at the same time, there's this energy where Spirit's like, don't force it, don't push it, just allow it, whatever that might be. So again, I know there's a lot of Scorpios watching for a lot of different things, whether it's work, relationships, life in general. Yes, it's just an energetic weather report, but there's something here that you probably get a better result by just allowing it and not letting and not forcing it. So we're just going to leave it as is. Again, it could be something that returns in an explosive manner, but let's go in on Temperance. We'll see what Temperance has. Why is Temperance here for Scorpio gang? Thank you. Wow, beautiful. Great. Absolutely beautiful. So it's a very similar thing. So we have the sun in the upright, super intense. And you remember I was saying, like, there might be something where it seems like nothing's happening up on the surface, but in reality, things are lining up how they need to line up. And this absolutely feels like a massive winner victory. We didn't even get to the Six of Wands yet, which is the big victory card. So I love this. And it's like, I don't have to go out of my way to get this. I don't have to force anything to get this. I just have to let things flow, and the win, it's already mine. It's already done. So I think that's super positive. So again, with the fire, this is fire, explosive win. Now, there is also this energy aside from the explosive winner victory that we have this change in the ether, right? Like, because we go from this energy that wants to push, 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 and then this one that just allows. So there can be a big change within someone, and especially with the fire, it could happen like that quicker than you might think. So whether it's a change of heart and emotion, whether it's a change in a situation, change in how somebody's acting, it just feels very fiery and explosive too. So we're going to keep moving. Beautiful victorious energy, beautiful change based energy. I'm feeling much more optimistic than I was initially. I could tell you that, but we're going to keep moving to the Six of Wands. Then we'll do a quick recap before we get into the shadow. But so far, aside from this tension right up here in the front, everything's looking like it's falling into place. So let's go in on that six. A lot of claimable stuff here this week, Scorpio. So why is that Six of Wands here? Please. Thank you. Cool. Yeah. Okay. So we have Death in reverse, one of the big Scorpio power cards showing up in reverse. And Death in reverse is very similar to Judgment in reverse. So we do get it here twice. This like looping, this returning type of energy here. Now, there is this other vibe, especially with the whole allowing and letting something flow. And listen, I know Scorpios have a ton of beautiful work ethic and determination. As a Scorpio moon, I totally get it. And we always feel like if we want something, we got to work for it. If we want something, we got to push for it. Nothing's just going to give it to us, right? But when I see the Six of Wands with Death in reverse, it's like, actually, no, not for this. Like, you kind of just need to allow it. Like, I don't, and again, I saw this in like the Cancer and Traces and Pisces. It must be a water sign thing here, where it's like the more you allow, the better it goes. Or like the less you try to force, the better it goes. And I'm not saying you have to not care. I'm not saying you have to release something, but we have multiple wins here. And the best energy comes when you just go hands off the wheel and just let it do what it's going to do. That's how it feels. Now, Death in Reverse, aside from being a Scorpio card, and speaking of just allowing, this card in the upright, if we take away all the Scorpio connotations, can represent change. We already saw that in the spread, but it could also represent the end of a cycle and opening of a new. So when we see it in reverse, underneath the Six of Wands, it's like a triumphant return, like the prodigal son return. So it's like a bounce back type of energy. And we see it in two places. One is a little more forced, one is much more allowed. Like I'm letting it happen. And I kind of like this one better, honestly. So it's like I'm getting the same result. I'm getting the same result, but it's the road that I travel to get there that's different. I could take the easy road or I could take the hard road. The decision is ours, right? I could take the easy road or the hard road. Either way, they're both moving in the same direction. So I hope that makes sense. But let's go through and do a quick recap, then we'll get into the shadow. I think overall this is a beautiful reading this week, Scorpio. I do, and I'm very optimistic about it. But if you kindly look in the box, position number one, we have the Seven of Wands with Judgment in reverse. Yes, this energy could try to push, push, push. If you're at a crossroads of some kind, if there's something that's getting under your skin, this energy could try to force things. But this is the first place where it shows up, where it's like, hey, don't force a damn thing. Just let it do what it's going to do. Um, Returning energy, we see it in two places, but it starts up here in the front where something makes an explosive return of some kind, where it's just a boom, it's out of nowhere and it's super intense. Moving to the middle, we have the shift and change of energy. We have temperance with the sun. So again, this powerful snap of the finger, explosive change in energy. But I think it's changing in the right way. And again, it could be a big win or victory. We have it in so many places within the spread. So I absolutely love this. The sun is the most positive card in the deck. Moving to the back end, we have the Six of Wands with Death in reverse underneath it. So again, the returning energy is here, but it's like we have two different roads leading to the same destination. And it's like you get to choose which road you take. Do you want to take this road right here where you got to push, 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 push? Or do you choose this road that's a bit easier? Like it's all going to fall into place anyway. It's all the same result is going to happen. It just depends on which road you want to take. And then, yeah, there's a lot of returning energy. So please take a screenshot if you want to look into it further. Let's see what's in the shadows. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here. And yeah, I always like to pull a shadow card at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge. They could be a good thing too. Let's get you one. Oh, and yes, if you made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel. I have much love for all my channel members. Okay, let's get this going here. What do we got for Scorpio gang? What do we got? Thank you. Cool. Knight of Cups. Another Scorpio power card. Another usually very good card. We will talk about the shadow aspect of it. So yeah, the Knight of Cups could represent you in a Scorpio reading. It could represent power, confidence, feeling good. And I love how he usually moves at the perfect speed. It's usually like super smooth. This is, think of the Prince Charming archetype as well. This could be a person in your life, if it's not another water sign, that's a smooth talker, always knows the right thing to say and the right time to say it. So I think this is good. But that's when we get to the challenging side of the Knight of Cups. Because sometimes this card can represent somebody that uses emotion against others. Sometimes the Knight of Cups can, I don't want to say manipulate, but it's an energy that can try to make you feel bad for it. Or it's an energy that won't tell you how it feels, or it's very difficult to open up. So watch out for energies like that. And I know that's something that would drive most Scorpios wild. Like if you had someone in your life where it's like they just won't open up, like they're not telling me how they're feeling. That's something to watch out for in this time with this Knight of Cups, or someone trying to make you feel bad. But overall, I think this is an energy that's moving at the perfect speed, perfect pace, even if it doesn't seem like it. So, Scorpio, that's what I got for you this week, my beautiful friends. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the April subscriber surprise. If you would like further insight on your situation, or you'd like to have a chat with me, you can book a personal session with me at my website, mastermetaphysics.com. But for the April subscriber surprise, we're doing a nice winner's choice once again. At the end of the month, I will choose 3 lucky subscribers to either win their choice of the Gilded Tarot Royale, or one of the custom made crystal pendants from my website, mastermetaphysics.com. So, winner's choice. And if you'd like to get your name in for this, it's two simple things, as always, my friends. First, you must be subscribed. And second, you can let me know down in the comments, how much do you know about the meanings of tarot cards? Are you an expert reader? Are you a beginner, intermediate? Do you know a lot? Do you know a little? You'll be entered to win. And at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in my posts tab. YouTube changed it. And yeah, that's where it'll be, my friends. Much love, and I'll talk to you soon.